believe by now you can see my screen. So welcome to your first design class in Loom Tech Academy. So kindly make sure you are muted and you are not talking, because this class is being recorded. So that when you are watching, you wouldn't have plenty lags and plenty noise in the background. Kindly make sure you are muted and you're not talking. So at this point, I would want you to bring out your notes, because we'll be defining some terms, getting you used to the whole Figma environment. And since you guys are truly beginners in this field, I guess you will need to write something down. So yeah, who is a product designer? That's the first step, the first thing, because you want to learn product design, so you need to know who a product designer is. So who is a product designer? So a product designer is a professional who focuses on creating and improving the user experience and user interface of a product. So mainly, when you say you are a product designer, what you do specifically is that you create digital products. So when we say digital products, the two digital products that we know is a website and application. So the two digital products that we is a website and application. So designing the whole interface of a website and designing the whole interface of an application, that's what makes you a product designer. So product design is the process of creating digital products to meet specific users' needs. It involves understanding the user. Someone is muted in the background. Please, admins, help me unmute that person. Thank you. So product design is the process of creating digital products to meet specific user needs. It involves understanding the user, problem solving, and making the product visually appealing. Alright, welcome to your first design class. So you all signed up to be a product designer. So the first thing, I think it's very important. Someone is making noise in the background. Admins, please help me unmute that person. This class is being recorded and we wouldn't want any form of obstruction. All students are kindly advised to mute themselves. Thank you. If you don't do that right away, you'll be removed from this call. You can't be disturbing everybody. So who is a product designer? You all signed up for a product design class, right? So I think it's very important that you understand this term. So a product designer is a professional who focuses on creating digital products. So when I say digital products, I mean website and application. So if you create digital products, you are a product designer. Yeah. So product design is the process of creating digital products to meet specific user needs. It's very important to take note of this word, specific user need. It's very important to take note of this word. Can you hear me now?
Hi.
Kindly send me a love emoji, so I'll be sure that you guys can hear. Thank you. So I'll go over it again. Thank you. Beautiful. So yeah, you all signed up for product design class, right? So I think it's very important that we define who a product designer is. We define who a product designer is and what is product design. So at this point, I I advise you, bring out your writing materials and put things down, because we will not have time to go over these GSTs again, these terms again. This is gonna be the first and last GST class. So when we are saying some things and you don't understand, it means you missed the fundamentals, which is today's class. So do not fright. At the end of this class, I will show you the softwares you'll be using and how to install that software depending on the operating system you're using. Yeah. So just calm down, and bring out your notes and understand the GST we're going to be teaching now. So product design is the process of creating digital products to meet specific needs. It involves understanding the user, problem solving, and making the products visually appealing and functional. So in simple terms, you can say that product design is all about creating products that are functional and solves real users' problem while meeting the business goal. So a product designer is specifically or just simply someone that creates digital products. So when I say digital products, I mean websites, application, or other digital products. So there are 5 aspects of product design you should take note of. 1 is research. 2 is ideation and prototyping. 3, user experience. 4, user interface, and then testing and iteration. So for research, it's very important that you understand your target audience. So imagine you want to design for a food ordering app. Imagine you want to design for a food ordering app. I'll try to slow down my pace. So there's a lot to cover in 2 hours, but I'll try to be very slow. So imagine you want to design for a food website and you've not done that before. The first thing to do is to understand your target audience, understand their needs, the market trends, and you only do this through survey, through forms, and competitive analysis. So at the end of this class, I'll be sending out a research form so that you understand how to know your target audience, a sample research form with me. So you don't just go about designing anything, you need to be very sure. Who are my target audience? When they come to buy a product in an application, what should they see? With your common sense, you should know that there should be a place to place an order. There should be a place to display the food. There should be a place to put quantity. There should be a place to check out and make payments and all of that. These are the rough ideas you have. So it's very important that you don't just go straight into designing. You conduct a competitive analysis, which is taking time to know your target audience. Knowing what works. It's called mental model. Knowing what works. Knowing how to improve from what they've done already. You can ask questions like, what are the difficulties you face using this particular food app that's already live? People can tell you things like, I want to be able to track my food in real life. I want to be able to know the exact point my food is when it starts moving. So I want to be able to see a map that will be showing me the exact point the dispatch rider is away from my house. So I can tell, oh, he's in the next street. Oh, he's almost close. Because dispatch riders lie a lot. So when you ask people these questions, you really understand that it's not just about ordering food. Someone like me, when I order food, I want it to be delivered fast. I want it to be delivered. So if you tell me order now and get in the evening, it's a no for me. So I want to be able to know, I want them to deliver it fast. I want to be sure that it's a trusted app because food is what you are eating. So this is what you're going to do in your research. Then ideation and prototyping. So you need to create wireframes, prototypes, mock-ups to visualize how the product will look and function before it is developed. So I think it's important I tell you guys that as a product designer, you'll be working with data analysts, you'll be working with developers, you'll be working with product managers and marketers. So working with a developer, one of the things that makes you very important in any product life cycle is that most especially people don't know what they want. I think that's the word. People don't know what they want. So when a client meets you and tell you, I want to design this, I want to do this, they don't really know what they want. And then developers don't really know how to bring this to life the way that the client needs. So that is why you are like a middleman. So the client comes and tell you, this is what I want to do. And then you design. When you design, you pass it on to the developer who brings it to life. So one of the reasons why I love product design is that I don't write any single line of code. I do not write any single line of code. But you can see the live version of all products that I have built. The live prototype version of all products that I've built. Yeah. So most times it's difficult to make changes, to make corrections in an already developed product. Writing lines of code are very difficult. So it's easier to make changes and iterations from the designer's point. So there is a stage in design that is called iteration. Yeah. The number 5, testing and iteration. So at this point, you gather feedbacks from users, refining the design and making improvements to ensure the product works well in real life. So it's very possible that you've designed and you feel like, oh, this is accurate, this is good. But when real life users start using, you could see that probably you want them to make purchase and it's taking them so much time to make purchase. This is showing you that something is wrong. I think the most relatable thing we can all hold on to now is most of us are young and we've obviously applied for work in one website or the other. Have you ever tried applying for a work and then they're asking for too much? They're asking for your CV, they're asking for your mother's name, your middle name, when you left school. Some things that you personally feel like, how is it related to this work? Some will even go to the extent of telling you, make a 5 minutes of video of yourself, telling us why you should. At some point, you just give up and leave the whole application. So that's how it works. You have to find a way to streamline users' process. So if you're applying for a work in a website, you are now the user. So the designer did not do a good job. You have to find a way to streamline. Just ask important questions. I, for one, when I am designing a job application, you just need your CV and resume. That's all. Straight to the point, because I know that job market field is crowded. People can be applying for 1,000 jobs, 10 a day, 20 a day. So I can't keep asking them for a whole lot. Once I see your CV, once I see your resume, it should be enough to know if you should move to the interview phase. So most of us, I know you can relate to having to leave any of your job application halfway due to too many processes, too many application processes. So your work is to streamline a process a user would take to get to his destination, while making sure that you don't remove the vital things. That's your work. So yeah. So what is the difference between UI and UX? So a product designer is a UI UX designer. What's the difference? So user experience is basically how the product works, while UI is how the product looks. I would explain. Pay keen attention because you really need to know the difference. So UX is when someone comes to use my product, how exactly does it work? How do they feel using the product? What's their experience like? Is it frustrating? Is it too long? Can they really navigate the process? Are they finding it difficult to know where things are placed? Then UI is basically how the product looks. In simple terms, is the product beautiful? Is it visually appealing? That's the word. So UX focuses on the overall feel of the experience. You might not know, but whenever you're using an application or a website, there's a way you feel about it. You could feel frustrated. You feel like, have you ever been when probably WhatsApp or Facebook makes an update and then things are not where they are meant to be, where they used to be. You feel frustrated. You be like, who sent WhatsApp to updates? I'm looking for how to make posts, how to see that frustration. That's how you feel. That's the UX. Why the UI is how it looks. So someone is muted. Admin, please remove that person from this call right now. Someone is unmuted. Admins, please remove that person from this call. We have about 5 admins, making sure that everyone is keeping to the instructions of the group. Thank you very much. So yeah. So you might not know, every application you use, there is a way you feel using it. So that is the UX. Why the UI is how it looks, So yeah, move over to how they both works together. So you can say that UX lays the foundation and structure while UI brings it to life. You know, don't worry, you get to understand this in deeper terms as we go. So what I want you to know is that you do not need to be a graphic designer to be a good UI UX designer. There is there's a fallacy that is flying over because majority of graphic designers, finally upgrades or migrates to being a UI UX designer. Reason being that UI UX designers are paid 10 times better than graphic design. Some graphic designers that charge so well charge as much as just 20,000 for a flyer, which 50% of them don't even charge this much. They probably charge 5 to 3,000. Some even still charge 1,000 in this economy. You can imagine why a UI UX designer can charge as much as 3 million, 5 million, 1 million, 300,000 in just one project. So you can see they are both getting one project, but they are both charging differently. So most graphic designers, when they think, oh, they want more, they just upgrade to being a UI UX designer. But then you do not need to be a graphic designer first for you to become a good UI UX designer. You do not need. So one thing you should know again is you should focus on understanding people. You should know what they need, what they feel, and how they behave. So learn to ask questions like, is this easy to use? Is this product really solving the problem I wanted to solve? So there is something called aesthetics and functionality. So in UI UX, we focus on functionality more than aesthetics. How many of us have used ChatGPT? I know you can all agree with me that ChatGPT is just a blank website, black and white. That's all. It doesn't look fine. There is no color. There is no beauty. But ChatGPT is functional. I mean, when you just get there, you ask your question and then you put in your prompt and you get the reply. It is very functional. So when it comes to UI UX, you focus on functionality over aesthetics. If you are looking at aesthetics, you're probably just a graphic designer, who wants to make the whole thing beautiful. It's not about being beautiful. It's about, when people try to use it, is it easy for them to use? So it's called user-centric design. Your design should be user-centric, meaning you should have users in mind for every action you take. For every place you want to change color, you want to make the font bigger, you want to put a button, the call to action, buy now, you should think. Just a quick example. Just imagine in your head an application and you want to buy a clothes, maybe Jumia app, you want to buy clothes. It is very intentional for the designers to put the button that says click to buy now or pay now. It's placed at the very bottom of your screen that your hand can easily access. It's very intentional. So you don't just do things. There are reasons for doing things. We'll look at that very soon, the laws of UX. So there is a law that says every call to action should be easy to access with their thumb. So you should check as a designer. Someone that is just holding their phone on their right hand, can they easily just click this? Can you imagine it is at the top right side of the phone? The stretching the person will do to get to just click and buy. It's stressful. That's how it's feeling. So every call to action should be very close to them. That is very important for you to note. Yeah. So design thinking process consists of 5 stages. So whenever I want to design a website, there are 5 things or application that you need to put into consideration. 1, you need to empathize with your users. So you need to define the problem. 3, you will need to ideate. 4, prototype. And 5, testing. So let's go by it one after the other. So empathizing, the goal of empathizing is to understand the user and their needs. So you need to conduct a user research. You need to know when to use surveys, when to use observations, when to use interviews. Surveys are quantitative analysis method, while interviews is seen as qualitative. So surveys quantity, interviews quality. Meaning being that surveys, they just fill form. You know how you guys filled your Google students info form? You just filled. I don't know how you guys feel about it. I don't know if it was stressful, the process of clicking and filling. But you see interview, imagine I'm interviewing you right now. I'm looking at you. From your facial expression, I can observe if you feel stressed, if you feel, I don't want to do this. So interviews sometimes can be a deeper means of research. For you to empathize well, understand your users well, sometimes you need to go as far as interviewing. I've had a friend who was designing a pregnancy app. She went far to extent of going to hospitals to meet pregnant women. Yeah, it is that important. You don't have pregnant women feel so irritated, they don't have strength, they don't want to do a lot of things. Like, I imagine you're designing something for them and you are stressing them. So she went as far as going to the hospital to interview pregnant women. But don't fright, most of these research parts, big companies, most companies outsource. So there are companies that their main goal is user research. That's their goal. So you just pay them to conduct the research and they give you the feedback and you work on it. So the next stage is define. Clearly define the problem you are solving. It's important. The first stage, when you understand your users and their needs. Okay, let's say the first example I gave, my users are probably those that are looking for job. Their needs is that they want to be able to find jobs and apply it easily. You've understood and empathized with them. Define the problem. The problem could be so much processes in just applying for a job. The problem could be all so the problem could be someone is talking at the background. Admins, please help me unmute or remove that person right away. So the problems could be most of the jobs websites usually comes with ads, and it's so frustrating to really know where to click, where to see apply. Define the problem, hit the nail on the neck, define it. So the next stage is ideas. Generate ideas, brainstorm. At this stage, we usually say that no idea is stupid. Bring as many ideas as possible. This is the stage in ideating. It's at this point where if you are working, so there is a full-time role, there's a partially remote and hybrid. So if you are working hybrid, it means you go to work some days and stay at home some days. So it's usually probably 2 at work, 3 at home. UI UX designers are usually working from home. So it's at the ideating stage that you would go to you go and have meeting with your stakeholders. You already know the problem and you've already defined the problem. So you come to them and tell them, so this is the problem that people are facing and you guys are trying to solve. You would all in a round circle generate ideas. Everyone is allowed to say, I think we should do it like this. I think we should do it like that. So as they are talking, you are jotting it down and you are just noting, taking note of all of them. I think we should do it like that. So even if someone says or gives a very stupid idea, write it down. It might be surprising to know that at the long run, that might be the very best option for what you guys are trying to do. Some things are just not visible. Some things are crazy. But at this point, developers cannot bring it to life. So put down all your ideas. And as developers will still be in the meeting, the brainstorming meeting, they will tell you, oh no, that thing you want to do, it can't work now. This cannot work. They are talking from a developer's perspective. Why the business people are talking from business perspective, you will talk from a designer's perspective. So you all will put ideas together just to make this product work and bring out solution. So the next stage is prototyping. So there is a stage that is usually not said, and I believe it's because it's always inside prototyping, which is building low fidelity and high fidelity wireframes. So it's more or less like when we say low fidelity wireframes, we mean building. I don't know if I should give you guys a practical example, but this is not a practical class. But just imagine a website that is all black and white. Black, white, and grey. No image, no color, just straight to the point, The importance of this is that sometimes websites being so colorful can make stakeholders say pass. It passes the test. It's okay when it doesn't actually solve the problem. So first, give them a low fidelity wireframe. Don't put color. Let everything be there, but don't put image and color. Maintain black, white, and grey. And tell them this is a job seeking app. Navigate your way through applying the job. This is when you truly know if the product is easy to use. So when it passes the low fidelity stage, the next thing to do is high fidelity. So in high fidelity wireframing, so you basically take um the products that have passed the low fidelity analysis. You just start adding colors, start adding images, start adding things. You might think most designers miss the low fidelity stage because they feel like they already used to this, so they just go straight up to designing and adding colors and adding all of those things. The back the disadvantage is that, imagine after all of this you move straight to the fifth stage, which is testing, and the test you now finally see that there is a problem. You are going back. It's better making corrections from the low fidelity. You are stressing yourself. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is testing. So you need to evaluate the solution, conduct usability testing with real users, and all of those. So you are done designing the application. You conduct a test, give it to real users. Collect their feedbacks, identify issues, and improve the prototype. So you can iterate as many times as possible till you get the perfect thing that fully, meets the user's needs effectively. So we're going into UX law. So the UX law are essential for creating effective, user-friendly designs that leads to better experience and higher satisfaction. So there are a lot of laws. There are like up to 20. I think in our masterclass I listed all, but here we just have 7 here. 7 important ones I feel like you guys should know. So things don't just happen. People don't just place things. There are laws that they are obeying, which are the reasons why they keep things where they are keeping things. So there's something called Fitts law. Fitts law. So the definition of this is that the time required to move to a target is a function of the target size and distance. I would explain. Imagine you want to make a purchase. Let's use Jumia app, for example. You want to pay for something you are ordering for. And I said this earlier, and the button is so far. So the time it will require you to stretch your hand to get to the button is Fitts law. So Fitts is saying that you should always place the call to action buttons near the thumb zone. So if you can see my screen clearly, use your hand on your screen and just zoom. Just zoom your screen. You would see where I am. If you can't see clearly, just zoom. It will increase. Just zoom. Touch your hand on your screen and behave like you want to open two things. It will zoom. Yeah. So don't worry, these lecture materials will be made available to you to go through for perfect understanding. So yeah, let's go. So for example, placing your call to action, like I said earlier, near the thumb zone on mobile apps makes it easier to click. So that is Fitts law. You need to obey that, as I said earlier. So there is Hicks law. So Hicks says that the more option a user is presented with, the longer it will take them to make a decision. People don't know what they want, so don't confuse them. Go straight to the point. Someone is making noise in the background. Kindly stop that. Admin, help me remove such person. Thank you. So yeah, as we were saying earlier, people don't really know what. Can you guys see my screen? I'm seeing some feedback that you're not seeing my screen. So some people can see, some cannot see. So it's definitely network. Can't see. Alright, keep it coming, let me know. Your screen is blank, blue. Can't see. We are not seeing. I can see. I can't see, only blue. Alright, let me stop sharing and just share again. So can you see now? Can you see now? Can see. Yes, can see. So a lot cannot see, can see. Thank you. People can see, so we'll just move forward. Thank you. So if you can't see, don't worry, this is gonna be recorded. Just go through it. You can't really favor everybody at this point. This is recorded. Just go through it. Yeah. So we're saying Hicks law. People don't really know what they want. They don't really know what they want. So you have to try to simplify their choices. It's very okay. You know, I told you initially that you work with data analysts. I know most of us watch movies on Netflix. So Netflix is a highly, not just Netflix, all websites, but let me just use Netflix. It's a highly data analyzed website. What do I mean? If all of us open our Netflix account, we're not going to be seeing the same thing. Netflix is going to be showing you the last movie you watched and the kind of movie it thinks you would like based on what you have watched. That's called algorithm, right? So it has found a way to streamline your choice to give you just what you need. So streamlining people's choice would obviously help to improve their decision making. So imagine I want to watch a cartoon movie and I just open Netflix and just seeing I really hate action movies. I hate animes a lot. Imagine that's all I'm seeing. I will just hit and leave Netflix. But once I open my Netflix, I'll just be seeing cartoon or I'll be seeing just something I want. They've helped you to simplify your choice. To avoid you feeling so overwhelmed. So that's Hicks law. That is why I said you work with data analysts. People that obey this law, two is e-commerce websites, Jumia. So when we all open our Jumia account, we're not going to be seeing the same thing. You would see things based on what they know you want. So they will help you streamline. So this is a law that we obey. So there is something called Jacob's law. So users spend most of their time on other websites. So they prefer your site looks similar to others. What do I mean by this? What do I mean by this? Follow established pattern. It's called a mental model. So there is something already in users' head. For example, if you are I'm using different applications and websites for it to make so much sense. If you are in a social media app, for example, you've used plenty of social media websites. You've used Facebook, you've used WhatsApp, you've used Instagram, probably using LinkedIn and all of that. If a new social media app comes out and you want to sign up, you expect that after you sign up that there should be a place to make posts. That is why it's social media. There should be a place that people can comment, a place you can post your pictures, people comment, people like. Imagine I design my own social media app and you just sign in and then you're seeing apply for a work. Things are just confusing. You're not seeing a place to post, you're not seeing, it's looking like something that is not meant to look like. So that's the reason why, even if you've not used WhatsApp before, even if you've not used Facebook before, just because you've used WhatsApp, once you sign in on Facebook, it looks similar. So there is already an established mental model that your instincts will be telling you, from this, I should just sign up, I should check my email, I should do this, I should do that. It feels like you've done it before. That's what Jacob's law is saying. So people spend most of their time in the other websites. So when you're designing your own, simply make sure that it's gonna be looking similar to others. Why still maintaining creativity? That is the difficult part of this work. It's like you're looking at Facebook to design a social media app, but you want to make sure that when people look at both websites, they're not seeing the same thing. But somehow their user flow is the same. So when I say user flow, this is what I mean. When I say user flow, okay, this is what I mean. This is extremely tiny. So this is home. This was for a job seeking website I designed. I might get to show you guys at the beginning of next class. So this is the home. This is the job seekers. This is just the way they will move. So I'm already saying, if you're a job seeker, let me zoom this. You already have an account? Yes. No. The next step, sign in if you don't have an account. Log in if you already have an account. I'm showing the flow. Can you see this? So when you now log in, you guys find yourself in my dashboard. So in my dashboard, you can set your profile, notification. All the flows, all the steps are one line linking to another. So all the websites are just linked together. You are the one probably that is not seeing it, but they are all linked. So it's called user flow. Yeah. So you want to make sure that the user flow is similar to what they already know, while you still maintain your creativity as a designer. That is why Twitter is not looking like Facebook. Facebook is not looking like WhatsApp. WhatsApp is not looking like LinkedIn. But they all are using the same mental model. So I think with time, when you start designing, you really understand. Oh, yeah, this is looking the same as this. But looking at it initially, you might not know because of the change of color, the change of fonts, different placement of things. But somehow, it is still the same mental model. Yeah. So there's something called the law of proximity. So admins, help me take that person out. Thank you. So the law of proximity. Objects that are close to each other are perceived as related. So you have to group things. Let's do something. Don't worry, we'll go over this app very soon. Let's do something. Okay, pick this. Just drop this in. I know you don't know how to use this. Just calm down. We will teach you. Just calm down. All right. So with this, I'm just showing you that these two are related to each other. These two are related to each other. So if you want to show that this is different from this, the simple way to do it is to create a distance. So even if the shapes are not regular, like it's just a different shape, just because they are close to each other, you will just feel like they are related to themselves. It must not be that they are the same shape. It must not be that they are the same shape. So the distance between them just shows you that. So I can drop this here. Okay, let's scale this up. Okay, beautiful. So the distance between these two and this shows you that these two are probably the same, and then these three are probably talking about different things here. So that's what this law is saying. The law of proximity. Objects that are close to each other are perceived as related. So when you want to show that things are related, keep it close. When they are not related, take it far. That's the law. Let me quickly take this out and then we come back. I don't know why some people cannot see my screen. This is the last time I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you can't see, just hang around and you watch the recorded section live here. Thank you. Alright, let's move forward as we have a lot to cover and it's almost 1 hour. So we said the law of proximity. There is a law of similarity. Elements that look similar are perceived as parts of same group here. So same shape, same color, size, they are perceived as parts of same group. So Miller's law states that the average number of objects an individual can hold in their memory is 7 plus or minus 2. What does this mean? Limit the amount of information you present at once. Break content into digestible chunks and avoid overloading the users with too many options or details at once. So just find a way. Just know that people can just remember 7 things plus or minus 2. That's 9 or 5. A lot of things should just not be there at once. They will not remember. People don't have so much retentive memory. That is why there are things like jotters, things like people don't remember things. Especially websites that look like themselves. So you need to make sure that you find a way to chunk to reduce the information you pass out at a time. So there is the peak end rule. People judge an experience based on how they felt at its peak and at its end, rather than the overall experience. That is why when you are designing, you should make sure that the onboarding section, which is the splash screen, I'll show you guys later. Make sure it's beautiful. Because once they try to click at first and it's just not looking giving, they probably just leave. So people just judge based on their onboarding and probably the checkout, which is the last thing. They're trying to make payments, it's difficult. They are putting in their card details, it's not reading it. Even though the whole process has obviously been nice, they will just feel like, oh no, they will just leave. To see the first and the last stage, you need to put keen attention to that. So places to get fonts, because this is a beginner class. We'll go as low as showing you where you can download quality font that expert designers use. So you can use Google Fonts, you can use that font, Adobe Fonts, there is P Font. I would give you these resources. All these are links. So just click on it and it will take you to the website and you go and look at the fonts available there. Yeah. So let's just open Google Fonts. Let's open Google Fonts. So this is how it looks. Probably I want Montserrat. Okay, so I just search the font I want. It brings it out. You just click get font. Once you click get font, enter your system. I love Montserrat so much. That's why I probably just showed you guys this font. So this is how to get fonts into your system. So the next thing is places to get design inspiration. So the one thing you can do for yourself is that you should make sure that there are places you visit often to see what your fellow designers are doing, how you can improve your own, what you're not doing well, what you can do better. Is there a new design style that is trending? So there was something that was trending sometime last 2 years. It's called neo brutalism design pattern. It was trending so well. Everybody was just posting. The first design law that you should know that you should keep things simple and straightforward. Don't style so much that you confuse people. But neo brutalism, it's a design law that obeys everything you know about design. What do I mean? Keep things complicated. Use colors that do not match. And somehow this was trending. People literally went to the extent of designing their personal portfolios with a new brutalism pattern. You'll be confused. Blue is here, red is here. Oh, these things are not matching. But somehow it just made sense. Okay, let me search just for you guys to see a new brutalism design. Okay, let's search this. Let's see. Just for this to make sense. Okay, this works. So you can see this. So this is just a lot, so much color. There is yellow, there is red, there is white, there is blue, there is this, there is this. This is so much. Design law states that you should just use 2 color, highest 3. But in neo brutalism, you would see so much. You see this thing that happened here? Lifting this with this is not allowed. This is so much shadow. These things are too bold. It's harsh to the eye. So the first design law that people use is minimalistic design. Minimalistic design. Let me show you minimalistic design. Let's search Dribble. Okay, that is the general acceptable design law that everybody uses. Minimalistic. I'm looking forward to. Okay, let's pick this. All right. So looking at this. You see white, black, grey, like general colors. They are tertiary colors that will be in every website. So apart from white, black, and grey, the only color this person uses is this color here. Minimalistic. That's how it should be. It should just be one primary and one secondary color and you're good to go. But you see neo brutalism that started trending. So much happening at the same time. Remember I said people can only remember 7 things, 7 plus or minus 2. So you try as much as possible to reduce. So much is happening in this, so much is happening here. And it's not allowed. But somehow it started trending. So it's only for those that takes time to study other people's design, to know what's happening. Only those people will pick it up. Because you will still be doing your minimalistic, not knowing that neo brutalism is trending. Which is the opposite of everything you know in minimalistic. Yeah. So there is Behance, there is Dribble. The site I just went to is Dribble. There is Behance, there is Award, there is Pinterest, and there is Design Inspiration. So spend your time. Once we're done with today's call, just go to Dribble. You can search UI designs, UI websites, UI applications. Be looking at them. And then the next thing we're going to be looking at are places to get color palettes. So it's difficult for people to combine color, right? Yeah, we know this. It's difficult. Color combination. That's one of the reasons why people say you need to be a graphic designer to transition well, which is a lie. So there are websites now that give you color that will match themselves. I, for one, these are main. They are color Adobe Color Hunt. I really use Color Hunt so much because it always works. So when I clicked it and it brought me here. These are 4 colors. They've combined it already. So any one you pick works. This is new. Just go to popular. It shuffles, Just calm down and search which one, suits what you want. Just in case you don't know how to combine color. Color Hunt will help you to do the math. And I think I would want to say that it's very important that you don't just use color and fonts anyhow. Color and fonts, as simple as you think they sound, they give a kind of feeling. So there is a font that is used for burial design, there's a font that is used for kids, there's a font that is used for job application, there's a font that is used for financial websites. Like all your bank apps, all their fonts are sans serif fonts. Sans serif fonts are font that does not have so much curves. Without serif, so much curve, just straight to the point. These are word fonts here, sans serif. There is no so much curve. Straight to the point. And then there is serif. Okay, let me write using a serif font. So it will be so clear to you. We'll just write anything. And then I will go pick a. Then I will go pick a serif font. Let's do this. This is a display font. So much type. There are times to use this. There are times to use all these playful things. But when you want to, good. You see this curve. This is a serif. This curve. This here. Watch this one. When you look at the G, it just ends there. It just ends there. So the cursiveness, that's the line, is not needed for a financial app. You cannot be so stylish that people won't even see. People just want to see the how much they have in their account. So write it straight up. Don't let maybe they have 1 million, the one will now curve and be looking like you, or you get, let it be straightforward. It's important you always make research and probably ask ChatGPT, I want to design a so app, which font best describes or best suits, So when you want to choose color, you can probably research and ask ChatGPT or Google, I want to design for children, which color is best suited for a children website. So every color has meaning. For black, it symbolizes power and death. Yeah. So for red shows love. That is why all Valentine's flyers everywhere all has red. Pink is for a girl or children. Blue is for a boy. Purple is for women. Blue also shows safe. It shows that the website is safe to use, it's trusted, it's this. White shows purity. So you need to understand, this is called color psychology. So you need to understand color. So you know the best color. You don't just pick color because I feel like I should use pink. Pink is my favorite color. You don't do that. You need to research and know the color that best describes the product you want to bring to life, and you use the color. So we have just 1 hour on the dot, so we need to run. So we've done color palettes. I for one use Color Hunt. But I know people that also like color and Adobe Color. So just take your time to research and know which best describes you. So the best place to test your product, your prototype. Remember I told you that once you design fonts, you're done with everything, you go and test. So there are applications that you use for testing this product. There are applications that you use for testing this product. You can test on a real human being. You can use apps like Mave. Okay, let's go back there. You can use apps to test the product and know how it really feels, So the places to get icons are very, you see these things here at the down part of my screen. If you're not seeing it well, just don't worry. When you watch this, you'll see this very well. These are icons. They are very, very important. Places to get icons. I for one use flat icons. So there is Iconify, there is material icon. There are just so much, So these are I said I'll be giving you guys this. These are the plugins that I'll be using for this class. So Iconify, Unsplash, we'll get to all of those things later. So at this point, these are just plugins. At this point, I think we should dive right into Figma. So let's go right to our Chrome. Let's say we want to download Figma. So you just come here and you search Figma. You just search Figma And then this very first, there is Figma's Softonic. I love using it. They all work. But let's use Softonic. You just click on it. So it's showing me Figma for Mac because I'm using a MacBook. Let's go. Let's use this. So it depends. You download Figma based on the operating system you're using. So there is Figma for Mac, Figma desktop app for Mac OS, Figma app for Windows, Figma app for Windows ARM. So there is mobile app, Figma for iOS, Figma for Android, and all of that. So you just click the one you're using. You should obviously be on your laptop, so you should click Figma app for MacBook if you're using a MacBook, or Figma app for desktop. Once you click it, it automatically starts downloading. But I'm going to stop this because I already have Figma. It automatically starts downloading. So once it downloads, click on it and just install, and it runs. It's simple to get into your system. It's that simple. I just take this out because I already have Figma. And then this is where we are. So once you download, you just open your Figma. It will bring you here. Alright, just open your Figma, and I want to create a new file. So Figma works with network. That is something you should know. Figma works with network, and once your network is not strong, you might not be able to really access everything in your Figma very well. So yeah, once you get here, first thing to do is just click this plus sign here. Once you click plus, you open a new file. You open and enter. You will let it load. Figma works with network. So once it opens, you just come here and this section, click on it, and you just write something. Probably you want to design for a web job seeking app. Just put a title to it, job seekers, something. So we are currently now on a Figma interface. At the left panel, Figma, this side, you can see my mouse right at this side, this panel of Figma. So you can see this Figma button. Once you click on it, you will see file, edit, view, object, text, all of this. Good. So this side of Figma, you would obviously see file and assets. So file is, let's put something inside, file will show something. Just click this and drag it. So in file, you would see the layers, what is inside here. In assets, you would see components. We'll talk about components later. So once you create a component, it appears in your assets. So let's just make this a component. I just drag this out, keep it there. To make a component, you come to this other side of your panel. You just click the second this, create a component. It's now a component. So let's go back to assets, click on our assets, and then click on this tiny little icon here. Just click on it. You'll see created in this file. Just click on it, and it's showing you the one asset I've created, which is this. You can see that, right? So file is where you see your work, asset is where you see your components. Yeah, that's that for this area. So we're coming down to this area, which is very, very important. So this first thing here, you click on the first icon, you can see move, you can see hand to, and you can see scale. So let's just take note of, let's just learn move and scale. For move, the short form, or the shortcut, or the code you just use to get yourself to move is to press V. To scale anything is to press K. So let's say we want to move this, we just press V. It shows us move, and then we'll click what we want to move, and then we'll hold our mouse pad. Your in your laptop, the mouse pad section, the section that helps you move your mouse around, just hold it, and then you move around. You can see this, right? You just move around. If you don't do the press holding, you won't be able to move the things around. You just move around. It's that simple. So when you want to you scale, you just come back here, click on this tiny button. It opens, and then scale is for K. Once, how you will know that your scaling worked? Just look at the right side panel. You will see a scale here. It means it's scaling. So once you click V, it's gone. Once you click K, and then click on what we want to scale, it comes. So we want to scale. The beautiful thing about scaling is that once you scale anything, it increases progressively. What do I mean by that? I want to scale this, right? This is a frame, and I can see that the width is 100, the height is 100. I want to scale it. Once I come down here, I just press hold. Use your left hand to press hold your mouse. Press it down. Use the other hand to just drag. Once I drag, you can see this, right? Once I drag as much as I want to drag, it increases evenly. So you can see here that we've dragged to 502, 502. That's because we use scale. So let's do Ctrl Z to go back, Ctrl Z to go back. And then let's just assume we've not put scale. Let's go back to move. So you want to move this, right? So you just come here and you drag. Can you see? It's not scaling accordingly. It's not scaling accordingly. So you just know when you want to scale and when you want to just increase things. Sometimes it's move you need, sometimes it's scale you need. But most of the time, it's scale you need. Yeah. So that's that for the first icon. And then for the second icon, which is frame, it's called frame 2. This icon is called frame. So beside every icon is just a small drop down that would show you more things inside the icon. So just click on it. So when you click on your frame, you will obviously see your frame F, your section, and your slice. So when I click frame, it brings out this plus sign, and I'll go to an empty interface in my Figma. Just click on it, and then it drops the frame for me. But then something happens. Once I drop frame, at the right side panel, things change. Obviously, any of the tools you click here brings out a different panel this side. Any of the tools. Let's click rectangle 2. Let's click this 2. So I see things are changing. So any one I pick changes things. So let's just go back to our frame, which brought this. So frame is basically the size of the website you're designing or the application you're designing. That's what frame is. So there are many frames available in Figma. So there is Android, iPhone 16, iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Pro Max. So whenever you are designing an application for iPhone users, make sure that the first thing to do is to pick a frame that is the same size with what you want to do. So I just picked frame randomly and I clicked plus and this frame came out. But then if I really want to start designing, and then I just click frame, click on phone and then iPhone 16. You might think this is big. It's not big. This is the size of your phone. This is the size of your phone. How do I know this? So I can come to prototype, just come to settings, no device. I just go pick iPhone 16, then I come back and click this, and then I just click display here. Just watch what will happen. Okay, this went out. Let's display this in here. So you can see this is a phone. So that is the frame you picked. This is a phone. So we'll take that out. So when you want to design an application, just go back to frame, a website, then just go down to desktop. When you click desktop, you can see MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, MacBook 16, just pick desktop. You can see desktop. This is the frame size for desktop. So when you want to design for a tablet users, you just come to tablets and then pick. Then this is it. Let's keep phone here. Let's increase it progressively. So you can clearly see that this is a desktop, this is a tablet, and this is a phone. So you don't just come to frame and just pick any frame. This is obviously going to be bigger than any website. It means anything you probably put around this area, anything you put on this area won't be seen. Anything you put on this area won't be seen. So the first thing to do is to make sure, Ctrl Z, that you pick the right frame for what you are designing for. So the next thing after frame is your shape tool. So you just come down here. So there is a rectangle, just click, it comes out. Click this drop down, there is a line, click, it drops. So when you want to draw, you can just press hold your mouse and draw. When you press hold your mouse and draw, it draws a line, but it draws an irregular shaped line. So to get a very straight line shape, you have to hold your shift, press hold your mouse pad section, and then you draw. You can see the difference. This is straight, this is not straight. So let me increase this width. This is the line. To increase the width, just come down to stroke. You can add 10. 10 is even not so visible. So let's do 50. Yeah. So this is your line. So let's make this 52. So you can see. So holding your shift and dragging the line makes it straight. Not holding and dragging makes it not straight. So yeah, just so you know. So there is arrow, the same thing, the same way you drag line, you drag your arrow. This is an arrow, but you might not be seeing the sharp because this is just let's make it 15. So this is an arrow. So the next shape here is eclipse, which is circle. You just click on it and it's circle. Click on it and it's circle. So let's imagine you want to increase this circle because it's obviously very small. So you come to your move tool, click on move, not when you click on move tool, you open here down, you open this icon, you see scale, click on scale, and then you come to this side, press hold your mouse pad and drag. Yes, you can see that you're scaling accordingly. How do I mean? Look here, 2452, 2452. It means it was scaled accordingly. So let's do Ctrl Z, and then we imagine we're not scaling, we just want to increase it, and we use move and not scale. So I come here and then I press hold my mouse pad, use my other hand to drag out. Can you see how this shape is so irregular? Yeah. So the next shape we'll be looking at is our polygon, which is just triangle. So this polygon is, so let's scale. Scaling is pressing K, or you come here to scale. So I love shortcuts, I just press K and it's already in scale. How do I know? I can see the scale here. So I press hold my mouse pad and then I drag this. This is a polygon tool, but this polygon tool can be used to make stars too. So once I'm done scaling, note, once you press K and you're done scaling, things changes. Remember I told you that everything you pick here brings us a different layout here. So the next thing I want to do will obviously be in the move section. So I'll press V to enter the move and then these things come. So K, you can see these things. I want to change the color of this, but I cannot see it. I'm not seeing that it's in scale. I just press V. Then you press V or you come down here and press move. So you're entering move. So once you are done scaling, which is K, make sure you're pressing your V, which is move. And so I come down to the fill section, then I just pick up. I just pick the color. So remember we were talking about this is a polygon tool. So this polygon is just showing 3 sides because you can see 3 here. So let's increase to 9. Can you see this? So you can use this to make a star. You can use it to make star has how many shape? 8. You can use it to make as just different things as possible. You can always come to the view and just play around with color. Remember I taught you guys color hunts. Let's go back to our color hunts. This is our color hunts. So let's say I want to use this color. So beside every color is a color code. Once I click on it, you'll see copied. I've copied it, or you write it down, but writing down is actually very traditional. Just click on it, it copies. Just go and open your Figma. Once I open my Figma, probably I want to change the color of this desktop. I click on the desktop. I can see fill here. I'm seeing that fill is F. I just come here, double tap, and then Ctrl V. I hit my enter. It picks the color. It's that simple. So you just go to your pick a color you want, go back to Figma, go to where you want to change the color, double tap this right up, and then V, it enters, changes the color. So this is where you type in your color code. So you come here and remove this one that is there, and now type in what you want. I know black is 0000 into 6 gives you black. With time you get to cram it, but you don't need to cram it because just go to color hunt, copy that place. But with time you just basically get used to some colors. So that's that for polygon 2. The next 2 is star 2. Okay, you just drop this and we want to scale V because this is too small, and I just drag star. I can see this. Then once I'm done scaling, I'll just close the scale here or press V to go back. So the next two, I'm trying to rush. This is meant to be a 2-hour class. Is image tool. Once you click on image, it takes you to your laptop. You need to let me bring in this design I did here. Then open. I just come to where I want to keep it. I just keep it there. And then I'll do V to scale so you guys can see. So we are scaling two things. So I just come here and use this. It was scaling itself together with that probably was held together, and then this. So this is a website I designed for a music website. So simple, clean, beautiful. You can see that, right? This is called the hero section. Don't worry, we'll get to this. So this is how you bring in an image. So the next thing to do while done with this section is this, which is your pen tool. So you have pen or pencil. So you just, once you click on it, you've held it, you've taken it, you can see that it's following you around. Just press hold your mouse pad and drag. Once you drag, you remove your hand. Pick it, let's pick it again. Press hold and drag. And then you can always come and change the color, increase it if it's too small, So you can give it irregular shapes. And then once you are done with the shape you want to give it, you're just going. Always make sure that you go back to where you started from and click on it to close it. So I just go back and I've closed it. You can see this, right? So this is the shape we gave it. This is the shape. And it's on stroke. That's why the color is just on the line. I can see that this is still in scale. I can see it because this is the scale icon. I just come back here and go to move. Once I go to move, I'll click on this. I'll click on this shape. Once I click on this shape, I just come to fill and then I give it a fill color. You can see, right? So if I don't need a fill color, I just come, this is fill. Always make sure that whatever you want to click, whatever you want to edit, that you've clicked it, highlighted it first. Just highlight it. And then you come to fill, put what you want to put. Once I do minus, I'll remove the fill. If I don't really want to remove the fill, I want to hide it, I'll just click on this eye icon here and it hides. It's in that. If I want to remove the stroke, I just click here and I remove the stroke. I add, or you can click on the plus to add the stroke back. Let's give the stroke and that color to make it very visible, and then increase it 90. Yeah, very visible. So in stroke, you can see that there is inside, there is outside, there is of a stroke. You can see this very tiny icon here. Once you click on it, you can play around with your strokes and all of that. So you can always come here, tweak things just the way you want. So these ones that are pushing themselves out are the places you hold to make changes. It's that simple. So the next is your text to just click. It's very straightforward, very straight to the point. You just drop anywhere and then you write. So I am writing, but you're not seeing because I zoomed out. I zoomed in intentionally. So to zoom out is Command plus plus. You keep plussing. So you keep doing Command plus, Command plus, Command plus. It's increasing. How do I know? I can see here that this is in 800. So you can obviously see that this was increasing or this is increasing. So you can see that you can see it now. So once I do Command minus, 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 you can see Command plus, 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 minus, you can see now. Or you can just come here and you do zoom in. You go back there, you do zoom out. You go back there, you can do zoom to fit. And that's that for that. So for the comments, one beautiful thing about Figma is that Figma is a design tool that helps in collaboration. What do I mean by that? 100 persons can be working on the same Figma file at the same time. 100 persons can be working on the same Figma file at the same time. So I work with Avila. Okay, my network is bad. It doesn't want to open that. Okay, I could have showed you our company's file. So you will just create a file and add people. How do you do that? You just come to share. Once you click share, you can copy the link and send to them to join. Yeah, this is plus Ben Charles plus this plus. These are people that are added in my files. Will work together. you know. So once you add them and they join, they will come to anybody to now be their name, and you will see can view. You just click on it and change to candidate. Once you click candidate, you save, and then they'll be able to edit. That's just it. So from their own end, they'll be editing. From your end, you'll be editing. 10 persons can be on one. That's the beautiful thing about product design. So one person can get a gig, you know. A company can employ as much as 10 product designers. 10 product designers, give them a project. So they will just share. You do the hero section, you do the sign up, you do the login, we'll all be here at different places. This Figma Canva is as big as, you can keep going, it's very big. You can keep going, you can see it's up, it's so big. Sometimes you might even start looking for your work. You just come to Zoom to fit and it brings it back. So the environment is so big. A lot of persons can be here working at the same time. At the same time. You know, that's beautiful thing about Figma. So that is the reason for comments. So imagine I'm working and my oga doesn't like this color. He will just come, click comment, come here, click on it and say, hello promise, kindly use blue or something. Kindly change this. I don't like this font. Hello. This is the way we communicate in Figma file. Once you click it, send it, submit. It enters here. The person will get notified in his email that someone commented on his work, you know, and he or she will come and check their Figma file and see the comments it dropped. Once you come close to the comments, it shows you what the person said. That's the beautiful thing about Figma, product design. Unlike graphics, that you really only want to design the whole thing. So a lot of persons can be here, still paid what they say they will pay you. They won't subtract from your salary because you guys are plenty working. No. So there is a fixed salary you get to discuss when you get a role. No matter how many persons you meet as a designer, you still get paid what they said they were going to pay you. So that's that for comments. And then we have this action. So once I click on this action is the reason why I did not finish our introductory class. So we're not going to go over it individually. So there is something called plugins. You need to add to your plugin list for you to be able to design beautiful. So the plugins you should be adding, I'll send you this. I want you to add Iconify, Unsplash, Autoflow, Contact Reel, Figma to HTML. You can convert your Figma file straight up to a website by using Figma HTML. So these are plugins, Lotify. So I wrote down all the plugins that you need and their use, like for remove bridge, automatically removes the background from any image. So let's come back to this file. Let's say we want to add I already have Iconify. I should probably remove it. Let's say I want to add Iconify. Just search Iconify there. Once you search, I already have it. So let me just quickly. So when you right click on an empty Canva, it brings out this for just go straight to plugins. These are all my save plugins. So I want to remove brush. I want to remove brush. Should I remove? Okay, let me just not remove. Let me add something. Okay, I don't have. Find plugins. Let's just go to plugins and the ones I don't have. These are the ones I have, right? These are the ones I have. So new plugins. Sorry, let's go back to plugins. Free. Do I have UI faces? Okay, I don't think I have Figma export. So let's click on Figma exporter. So I've given you a list of plugins. Don't need to be confused. Just go over. So in this search bar, I'm just meant to put in those plugins I gave you. I already have them. So I want to show you the real process you're going to pass through because you do not have them. I just click on Frame Exporter. Once I click on it, it's loading, which shows that I have it. So it's a wrong pick. So we just go over here. So I'm looking for the one I do not have. Oh, I'm looking for a plugin I do not have. Autoflow. Okay, I did not have Autoflow. I hope I don't have it. I just click on Autoflow. So I clicked on Autoflow and then I just come on this tree. Okay, I have it. So I just remove it. Beautiful. I have it, but I just remove it. So we can go by it again. So we just search Autoflow and then you search. Once you click search, Autoflow, Once you write auto flow, we are at all. You go to assets, you're at assets. You want to be at plugin and widget. So once you are there, you can see from community, meaning you do not have it. So I can see auto flow, automatically draws flow arrows, creates user flows and diagrams, all of those things. I just click on auto flow. Once I click on auto flow, beautiful, this is what I want to show you. So because I don't have it, it's going to say save. Let's take this. Or because I don't have, it's going to say save or run. So I can save or run now. So I just click run. Once you run, it's also going to save. Once you run, it's also going to save. So this is it. I've gotten it inside. I've gotten it. So once you put in all those plugins I gave you with this method, how you would get them is just come to an empty Canva. You right click and then you can see your plugins. These are all your plugins. These are my saved plugins. So let me run one plugin. Let's run Iconify because you would need to put in icons many times. So let's say you want to put in a home, just search home, just search. Once you search home, you just click your enter or search bar, see all the homes. So you should know that you should maintain consistency. This icon is called a field icon. This is an outlined icon. So if you want to use a field icon, use it all through your work. Just drag it out, it comes out. If you want to use an outline icon, just use it all through your work. So just drag it out, it comes out. But it comes out, it comes out very small. I can see right here. I just zoom in. So I can do my K, which is scaling as I've been saying, and we just drag and we scale. So I would reduce this and then look for the other one. See it right here, very small. So zoom out, Control plus, and then scale it. Very beautiful. I just get it very close. Okay. So I just keep it there. Yeah. So this is an icon. You can always come to fill, play around with the color that you want to use and all of that. But this is how plugin work. You just come to an empty side of your Canva, just right click, and then this is plugin, and then just run your plugins. Let's look for a plugin that will bring in images. Okay. Where's Unsplash? I do not have Unsplash. How possible is that? So let's go get Unsplash in. Unsplash. So I just click on Unsplash and let's load. Loading Unsplash, you can see it. So Figma auto saves your work. There's no need of saving your work, but you need to make sure that your internet network is on and that. So you just search what you want to search, or let's say animals. Just click on it. Once you click on it, you can see that it's loading. Alright, it entered what we were highlighting, which is this icon, but that's not what we want. So you can do Ctrl Z to undo or just leave it. Make sure you're not holding on any side. So just enter your Canva. Then I click on it. You will see once I'm not holding on to anything, it just comes in. So this is it. Unsplash. This is it. Unsplash. So what we can do is, so we've used Unsplash. You don't do this. You don't scale image like this. Ctrl Z. This is wrong. So once you want to increase image, always scale, which is K. Once you put K, you just come here and do this. It scales even. If you don't do V, if you don't scale, see what's gonna happen. You might start cutting out your tortoise. Can you see this? Or else it's intentional. That's what you want. Or else this is what you want, which is not always what you want. This is how you get in. So with plugins, you get in a lot of images, So I already listed plugins I want you to go put in with this method I showed you. Go and put in all these plugins. We'll be using it for our dashboard class, which will be next week. Yeah. So go and put in all these plugins. We'll be using it for our dashboard class, which will be next week. So we are at job seekers. Remember, you can keep adding new tabs, putting things. We are currently at job seekers. And then okay, that's that for that. So once they are done designing, I said designers and developers use Figma. So once they're done designing, what you will do is just come here and click this dev mode. Once you click it, it will enter developers mode. But to show developers, let's click it again. I think I unchecked it. I just click. So this developers mode to show developers, to give them opportunity to inspect the plugins I used. You know, they would also need to get it to be able to write the language CSS. So they would just come, look at it. It will just show them the borders, the patterns, the spacing I gave it. So this does not concern you. This is for developers, but you just need to know that once you click here, you can see marked as ready for developers. So developers will get notified that you're done designing and it's ready for them to develop. So that's that for that. Just uncheck it to go back to your design interface. So yeah, we are not developers, so we just come back here, and that's that for that. So we are done with these icons. Let's look at the left side, the right side of our panel, which is this here. So you have design, you have prototype. So designing is what we are currently doing. Prototyping is linking two things. Once I click prototype and I want to prototype this and this, I'm clicking design, I'm in design. I click prototype. You can see that once I click prototype, the interface changes. Once I click design, it changes. So I'm on prototype, and then once I come close to what I want to prototype, you can see this plus here. Let me zoom. You can see this plus here. So just drag down to here. So we'll prototype this. And what was the instruction we gave it? The trigger is on type, action, navigate to this instant. So let's go watch our prototype. Come back to design. Just hold this our prototype first. And we come here. This is for playing your prototype. Just click here and then preview. So you can see this. The action we gave it is on tap. When you tap, move to the other one. So just tap, it moves. Can you see this? So we have to tell this one back. Click on it and go to prototype. And then we just come very close. You will see this plus. Drag it here. So we said on tap, navigate to, do this. So it means this one, when we tap again, go to this. When we tap, go to this. When we tap, go to this. These are the ways different frames are linked together. So you're wondering, how can someone move from this to this? Like, how is it even done? How do you move like from this to this to this to this, It's just prototypes. So that's what prototyping is. So you can have as much as 100 screens to prototype. Is that crazy? That is the reason why, as a product designer, you need to charge very high. Because you'll be designing, for most jobs, you're making it responsive. What does this mean? Responsiveness means you design the desktop view, design the mobile view, and you design the tablet view. So these three things is a whole lot of work. So you need to make sure that you put them into consideration when you are charging. Yeah. So that's that for design and prototyping. So we've already come here, which is to zoom in, zoom out, and all of that. Zoom out, zoom in, and that. So once I come here, which is me, multiplayer 2, I just click on this drop down. I can spot me. So if there is someone here designing with me, I'll just go to them and spot them. To take me directly to where the person is. You can see this is waiting for followers. Nobody's here. Nobody's following me. So if the person is designing somewhere and I want to see what the person is doing, I'll just go there, spot. To take me to where the person is working on, because we can be 20 here and you just want to get one person. So that's the reason for this, to spot. Yeah. So you can copy your designs to slides. Once I done design, just copy and make it a slide. Yeah. So these are positioning. So for now, we'll get to understand this once we start designing. This is width and height. So once I click this desktop, you can see the width and height is 140, 100, 1440, and 1028. So for this iPhone, you can see that it reduced. Obviously, the width is smaller, the height is. So on no account, this is a phone. This is a width. On no account should you go to a phone, go to anything and increase like this. It's obviously going to be bigger than the phone, Ctrl Z. What you can do, you can always increase the height. But you see the width, you are not allowed to do that, Ctrl Z. So this is for a tablet. On no account should you do this. You are gradually making it look bigger than the normal size of tablet. So Ctrl Z. You can always increase like this because people can always scroll up and see the rest of the things. But you see that way, it is not allowed. Note, it's not allowed. Yeah. So that's that for that. So there is appearance where you can do some, some more technical things. So let's just work on this appearance. Okay, beautiful. Click on this. Let's go to appearance. Just come down here. So when I come to opacity, and I do 13, reduces. You can see that, right? I put it back to 100, it increases. I just come right here and I apply blend mode. I just click on it. It brings me all of this. I just check the one that I really want to use. Just change this feel. This soft light feels good. This overlay feels good. This highlight feels sweet. But it's usually at pass through or normal. Let's leave that pass through. But when you want to make things overly complicated, yeah, you would use apply. So there is something I want you to note here. If I just get a frame, I drop this here. Beautiful. I get this rectangle too. I just drop this here. Let's give it a fine color to make it very evident. This is a rectangle too, right? So I just click on it. I would come here to give it a corner radius. Let's give the corner radius of 50 to make it so obvious. Even 50 is not so obvious. So let's give the corner radius of 200. So let me do zoom in, zoom out actually. Zoom in. Let's do zoom to fit. Okay. So you can see very well that the edge, there was a curve. That is what corner radius is used for. There is a curve at the edge. Beautiful. So if you don't want that, you can just click on the call to action, which is the button again, and then come here and just put it back to 0, and it goes out. That's that for that. Beautiful. And then you can add a stroke. Just click on plus. A stroke comes in, add the color of the stroke, and then once you leave, it has entered, but it's probably so small that you cannot see. Just click on your frame, then you come here and do 50. So you can see that there is a frame, there is a stroke there. It's 10, very small. Sometimes you might need a stroke. So you click on this again. So the next thing I want us to see is effect. So click on effect. Once you do plus effect, you can see shadow. So let's add 100% shadow so that it will be so evident. Let's give a color to the shadow so it will be seen very well. So this is a shadow. To blur it, I really don't know if you guys can see this. Okay, let me change this frame to, let's give it a blue. This is color blonder. Don't do this. I just click on this frame, and then I come here and I give it a blue. Just any color. This is so bad. This is just for teaching purpose. I click on this and I come to drop shadow, and I spread this. So I'm blurring it. So when I come to layer blur and I increase this layer blur to 900, can you see what happened? It blurred it. I just come here, change again. I want to do background blur. I will program for 700. Depends on what you want to do. You want to do drop shadow. So you can see the drop shadow. There are shadows after this. Let me zoom it. There are shadows after this. So you are not advised to make it so brutal, like it is so rough. It is so rough. So what do you do here? Just come to your column, just make it 10. The opacity has reduced. If you feel like it is not really seen again, just increase gradually. Subtle. It's just a way of lifting it a little from the background. Don't make it so attention dragging. See this? It's a blunder. But this can be allowed in new brutalism. This can be allowed but for minimalistic, it is not allowed. It's not allowed, yeah. So that's that for this. And then you can just export your design. You just come to plus. Once you come to plus, you can see export as PNG, JPEG, SVG, PDF. So I like using PNG because it gives better quality. Once I click export, just click on export rectangle 2. It's just a rectangle that we're exporting. Just click on it. It exports. Once you just click on it, it exports. You now have to put in where you want to save it, put in all the things, the place you want to find it, and then you hit save, of which that is not it. I don't want to save it. I just cancel. So once you hit save, it exports and gets saved where you want to save it. But designers don't all usually export their designs, because in a big design environment there can be 100 design slides. You want to keep exporting one, that's not wise. So what you do is you just come down here, the right side of the panel, the top left, you can see top right, you can see share. Just click share. Once you click share, you just copy this link and share to people that you want to see it. But make sure that you leave them as can view and not can edit. People that can edit are people that you know you are working with. You can even go to the extent of adding passwords to secure your work. So who can access this? Anybody. Anybody with a link. You can put only those invited. And you literally need to invite them. Once you save, you need to invite them by putting their email. So it's stressful for me. I just leave it as anybody and then can view. I just make sure that you can only view. And then if you want to comment, they would see a place to click ask to comment. Once they ask to comment, once I open my Figma file, I'll see he is requesting access, and I just click allow him to edit, allow him to comment, allow him to do this, allow him to do that, you know. And that's how to properly share this. Yeah, that's how to properly share this. And that's how to properly share this. I think we'll be stopping here in today's class. This will be shared to you, and this video will also be uploaded in your YouTube channel. So you are advised to watch your YouTube videos as many times as possible to gain clarity. Feel free, we'll be designing a real dashboard starting from our next class. So feel free to get your Figma downloaded, go over your Figma interface over and over again to get yourself conversant with all the tools and the whole environment. I promise you, Figma is not difficult. You are just not used to it. It's just the same way you feel when you start using a particular thing. It feels somehow, but with time you get used to it. It is not difficult. You're not writing code. You're just typing, putting shapes, putting colors, and you're going to be paid well for doing all of this. So get yourself conversant with Figma environment. And in our next class, we'll be designing a real interface. So put down your questions